Hello, friends. Today is the second day of quarterfinals. Today we'll know the semifinalists or England, Switzerland, or Netherlands, Türkiye. These games are a little bit more easy to preview. It doesn't mean that you can exactly predict, but compared to yesterday's, because yesterday's teams, they had a very deep lineup. That is means a long bench, and the choices that the managers had was very vast. So that's why I had a look at all their games and sort of tried to extrapolate the formation they would be playing with, and what were the weak points and what were the strong points. Today's games, we have 4 teams, except for England. No one has a very deep bench, a lot of choices. So I think it will be a little bit clearer and a little bit easier. Let's begin with England. Now, England hasn't shown the football we expected from them. Very many people were attributing it to the fact that they had a very long season. I mean, the Premier League is very. I mean, it takes away a lot of energy. Plus the European Cups, plus the FA Cup, plus the League Cup and Carabao Cup, and I mean, but I don't think this is an argument. Because when you come to such a short tournament and the best players come, the best players that the manager has chosen, I think fatigue plays a little bit a secondary role. I mean, here is determination, here is the desire to win, here is a desire to get into his football history. So that's sort of, it all compensates. I think that all the teams are playing at their maximum. England is an awkward team. Myself, I respect Gareth Southgate, the coach of England, very much. Why? Because he's sincere at press conferences. He is very sort of, he looks friendly. When you listen to him, you listen like to a friend and not to another, general manager of the great England. But I don't respect him as a tactician. I've been observing for years what he was doing, and he always denaturalized his players. He put them in the positions where they don't give 100% because we're not used to playing in them. He believes in that one tactical scheme, 4-2-3-1, and it's like, it's like I don't know, it's like a Bible for him. That is not a good sign for a good manager. And everybody is mixed up today. It's his 100th game as the coach of a national team. It may be the last one. The country, England, really wants him sacked. They wanted him sacked after the second game. They wanted him sacked after the third game. The country doesn't like Gareth Southgate. It's his last chance to prove that he can create something. He can think of something unusual, something unexpected, because his opponent, Switzerland, is a very serious team, which is managed, in my view, so far by the best technician of the tournament. It's Murat Yakin. Why he's the best, I explain later. But now I want to concentrate on England a little bit. So let's see what a neutral Italian Gazzetta dello Sport, what kind of lineup does it give for today's game. You'll see it in a second on your screens. So we have a look here. We look at England. Okay, Mark Gay is disqualified, so Aston Villa defender Konsa is going to play in his place. I mean, he is he plays. He can play left. He can play right. He's quite a universal center back. So Ezri Konsa instead of Margay. Otherwise, there we have a change. What change? 3 defenders: Konsa, Stones, and Walker. Walker on the right. Walker on the right. That basically is, I mean, his position, and he is playing next to Alexander Arnold, with whom they play together in one league, but in different teams. Alexander Arnold plays on the right in Liverpool. So the midfield line is composed from right to left: Alexander Arnold, Mainu, who played quite well, I must say, the last games, Declan Rice, and Saka. Why did the Italians put Saka on the left wing? I don't know. Saka on the left wing, I don't think is going to be very efficient. Then we have Foden to the left, which okay, but he is playing more center. Him and Bellingham are closer. They're not. No, Bellingham always was playing closer to Kane, but now Foden is also going to be close to Kane. So they form such an attacking triangle. And Harry Kane. This is one version. Now let's take version of The Independent, an English newspaper. I don't have the graphics. I will just read you slowly and carefully. Well, obviously, Pickford is no. That's Son. No. Take that away for a moment because it's psychedelic. Now, Pickford, Alexander Arnold on the right, Stones and Konsa in the middle, and Walker on the left. Well, very dubious, but that's what the Independent puts. Rice, Mainu, Palmer, Bellingham. That is, they exclude Saka. They see Palmer as a right-wing midfielder in this case. But we know that Palmer is very quick. I mean, he had a very good season in Chelsea. But, I mean, okay, no Saka. Saka did not show anything extraordinary in the games that he played in this tournament. And Bellingham, Foden, Kane. That is a must. And now let us see what the newspaper Sun is showing. And here I'm going to be surprising you, because I was very much surprised myself when I saw their lineup. Let's see. Look. And Pickford, Konsa, Stones, Walker, 3. So Gareth Southgate rarely played with 3. Saka and Trippier. Trippier on the right, Saka on the left. Rice and Mainu. the line Trippier and Saka is lower than the line Rice Mainu, but let's say it's 4, and 3, the usual 3. Those 3 are everywhere. Foden, Bellingham, and Kane are everywhere, in every formation. Now, what does that mean if we leave this one, which I consider to be a little bit psychedelic, really, to me? Walker playing next to Trippier, Konsa playing next to Saka. I mean, it's a kind of absolutely not understandable football. What can come out of it? But it seems that Gareth Southgate is not satisfied completely with 2 players. That can be because of the games that they played. That may be because of the last day trainings, and they appear to be not in a perfect form. The reasons we don't know, but Trippier and Saka are 2 players who may not play this game. The problem of England is not here. Absolutely not here. England does not produce at this moment, in this generation for sure, but in previous as well, it does not produce a thinking midfielder. Let's say Lampard, at least. You imagine, last time I said that if Lobotka would play in England squad, England would probably become the finalist of the European Championship. Now, no thinking midfielder, no midfielder that can play the role of a metronome, that is, sort of adjust the rhythm of a team, slow it down, fasten it up. With a pass back, you slow it down. With a one-touch pass up front, you make it quicker. Such a midfielder is absent. That is what Southgate has to compensate. Now, and the only way to compensate it is dynamics, is to play very fast. You play very fast, and as much as possible, you play one-touch football on the opponent's side and in midfield. It's not easy, but that is what you have to train. Speed of execution, because the technical ability England has. Nobody has a player like Bellingham. Nobody has a player like Foden. Actually, nobody has a player like Kane. And Kane, with time, as we saw it with our own eyes. Yes, in the Bundesliga, he scored a lot of goals, 40 goals, if I'm not mistaken, in almost as many matches. But Harry Kane is a super intelligent player, I would say, and he is sort of, his position, he is drawing it back. He makes a step or 2 back because he sees the field very well, and he can give a decisive pass anytime when someone penetrates the penalty box, be it Bellingham, be it Foden, or be it somebody from a defender or from a midfield. So Kane is a player who thinks and who sees, but he is too far front. He is too far from midfield. So midfield has to play quick enough to let Harry Kane either be in a position just deep inside the penalty box and try to score, also one touch, be it head, be it foot. But that's what is lacking in England, because even Declan Rice or whoever played on the place of Mainu, because Southgate was experimenting a lot. He started with Alexander Arnold, then he put Gallagher. Now he stopped at Mainu, though we don't know. I mean, those lineups are absolutely hypothetical. And now I'll talk about Switzerland. Whom are we playing against? We are playing against a team that basically it tore apart Italy, just the same way Spain tore apart Italy. Okay, I agree. Italy is not the greatest team. Italy is not a very technical team. But Murat Yakin in the game with Germany, the last game in the group, which if Switzerland had won, it would have taken the first place in the group. It was leading until the last minute. It was leading until the last minute, and I repeat myself again, because they totally blocked that access, Toni Kroos, Gundogan. They didn't allow them to to make the play between the lines. Toni Kroos did not, I mean, he played well between the defense and midfield, but he wasn't able to deliver balls to Gundogan, who was playing between the two lines, midfield and attack. So Yakin blocked them, and he just cut the line. I don't know, as you explode on a railway. The game of Germany. I mean, it was lacking. It was lacking midfield. It was lacking their usual understanding of how what trajectories the ball is going to take. Gundogan between the lines is very unpredictable. He can shoot himself. He can give an unexpected pass. All that was absent. In the game against Italy, in the first or 16 team knockout, he understood the weakness of Italy. Italy is not a very technical team in the back. Donnarumma, though he is very good in the goal, he is not great with his feet. And if you press Italy high, if you sort of apply pressure with a good number of players, 3 or 4, and don't let them come out of their not penalty box, but that one defensive 1/3, they are obliged to play high balls. If you play high balls, obviously the defense has an advantage because it sees the ball. And that way, constant pressing very high up against Italy just tore Italy apart. Because if in Italian clubs, foreigners at play, they work every day with the same coach and they learn how to one-touch passes, you can come out you come out from defense and you start an attack in a passing game. Here, Italy was. I mean, they don't have those players that really are confident in their technique. So a lot of long balls. What is he going to try to do today? Murat Yakin. Looking at, of course, he is going to try and exploit, I think, his superiority in the midfield. Because Xhaka, whom English fans know very well from Arsenal, and Remo Freuler are a very, very strong couple in the center field. If we bring back the England Gazeta dello Sport. We can bring back the Gazeta dello Sport because with Turks they rarely make a mistake. So we can see that I mean with Turks, with Swiss. Swiss is almost it's a cousin. It's a nation cousin. So you see, I mean, it's playing 3-4-2-1. Varga scored a beautiful goal against Italy, and if he's given space, he's very dangerous. He's right-footed, but he's playing on the left side, I mean, inverted. Reader is a fighter. He is not the strongest man in this team. Ndoye is very mobile. He can show up anywhere. He's a midfielder. He can become an attacker, very easy. And the line has Switzerland can attack 4-2-3 and defend the way you see it now. Even you can defend 1-5-3. It's sorry, yeah, 1-6-3. 6-3. That is a wall. Now Shar, Akanji in Manchester City, we know him quite well. He is a dependable defender. Rudiger, that is Rudiger. I said Rodriguez. Rodriguez is very, very experienced. He really feels good his position. He's not as quick as he was before, but next to him is playing Abisher, and Abisher is a working horse with a very, very, very good technique. So very good technique. It's not very good, but it's good. Excuse me. So I think in the end it's going to be a very difficult game for England because of Murat Yakin. You never give that much weight to a manager because we know that manager he's sort of he creates a plan of a game. He's a kind of a lawmaker, but the execution it's a players. But Switzerland is so close to semifinals that I think that they're going to listen to every word their manager says. Now let's switch to the next game. Here I think England should win because the talent, the talent is there, is in front of our eyes. Who has Foden, Kane, Bellingham, Saka, Palmer on a bench, and the other super talented players, young players who are on a bench. Nobody. Among those, I mean, if you compare Switzerland to England. So England should win on paper, but I think Murat Yakin is going to create a lot of problems. I would not exclude Switzerland's victory. I would not. Be it in additional time, be it on penalties, be it whatever. I don't exclude that unless we see a completely different England from what we have seen before. That is very quick, very, very quick, a very high rhythm, a lot of pressure applied. Basically, the way clubs, British clubs, English clubs play in the Premier League. It's very intense. You have to put a lot of intensity in the game with Switzerland. Then England has a chance. The second game is, for me at least, I don't know about other people who love follow football, but the second game for me was a little bit of surprise. I didn't really expect Turkey to beat Austria. I did not expect them to beat Austria also because their leader, Çalhanoğlu, was disqualified. But, courage, determination, and luck. Luck or, or extreme ability. Because let's please put the Turkey lineup against Holland or Netherlands, and at the last moment of the game, a goalkeeper of Turkey, Meret Günok, he really, he performed a miracle. It was a ball played the head about, I would say, 7-8 meters from him, and it was going into the right upper angle, and he took the ball. Otherwise, Switzerland would have tied, and as Vincenzo Montella has already substituted his most talented players, Yildiz and Arda Güler, the game could have gone anyway. But I don't know. It's a bit of luck, and it's also, of course, mastership, no doubt. So we see today Turkey is going to play basically in its maximally strong lineup, except for one of the disqualified center defenders. Plus, Demiral was disqualified for 2 games. So in the middle of defense, if something happens, they may not have a substitute. So that's why I say that the bench is short. Then they lost the second yellow card. They lost Kokchu in the midfield. Kokchu in the midfield is very, he's a very useful, practical player. He recovers a lot of balls. He is very aggressive. He makes the opponent's midfield play not as good as they could. If you look at the front line, yes, Turkey doesn't have a a real striker. Yilmaz, you cannot call him a real striker. He's not a number 1, but he moves from left to right. He has a good speed. He has a good dribbling, and he may create dangerous situations, and he may even score. As far as Arda Güler and Yildiz are concerned, Arda Güler is 18, Yildiz is 19, and these players, young players, you never know. You really never know. They're not 100% constant. But in a game like that, I think for them it's also history. They're so young, and they're playing already at such a high level. I'm not talking about clubs. I'm just talking about the national team. Çalhanoğlu is back, and that is very good news for Turkey. And Vincenzo Montella is not a manager. I know him quite well because for a few years he coached Fiorentina. So the team that I am a fan of. Montella never tries to play defensive football. Turkey is not going to close itself waiting for a counterattack. No, Turkey is going to play. About this, I have no doubt. But they're going to play as much as their opponent will allow them to play. And if we go to the Dutch side, well, here we have a very offensive, a very, very, very offensive lineup. We have, well, okay, Ake, Van Dijk, Verbruggen, De Vries, and Dumfries. Well, Dumfries is not exactly playing a defensive role. He's more in midfield, but still, well, yeah, it's such a movable defense. The only player that usually stays behind is Van Dijk, and he comes to the opponent's penalty box only on set pieces. In the middle, Reinders and Schouten, they showed a good quality in the last game, no doubt. And then Gakpo, who scored the first goal in the previous match, Xavi Simons, who's an attacking player. He's more a winger than a central player, but Koeman decided that way. And Malen, who is really an attacking player. In the game now, let me have a look if I have it. In the game against Romania in the quarterfinals. That is in a 16-team round, knockout round. It was here. 1 second. I just want nothing serious. I just wanted to show you the Dutch formation because of course the Dutch, they did not know what to expect from Romania, because Romania played very convincing, I would say, 3 games, and there were reasons to worry. And if you have a look at that formation, you know how the Dutch played. So they played very similar as to what Gazzetta dello Sport anticipated, with the only reason that Bergwijn was playing on place in a place of Malen. Now, you see, Bergwijn is much less attacking player, but he helps a lot the midfield. And Koeman was careful. He was really careful. Then Gakpo scored the goal. He scored the goal that the goalkeeper should have taken, no doubt, because he took a ball on the left side. He moved right. He adjusted the ball to his right foot, and he shot to the goalkeeper's post. So actually, goalkeepers should take balls like that. He did not. And Koeman's confidence in the team, seeing them play, I would say quite harmonically, and with a lot of desire, he decided to play Malen in the second half because the opponent was already a bit tired, and Malen had a lot of space because a Romanian team was tired, and because Hagi was not decisive. He was not. I mean, his game is very difficult to define. Because it was sort of it was about nothing. And of course, Holland scored two more goals. I mean, it was Malin who did it. And is he going to play with such a courageous attacking game at the very beginning, knowing before he didn't, but now he knows that Turkey is a strong team, because a weak team doesn't beat Austria without its leader Çalhanoğlu. So I don't know if he's going to put Mullen immediately, or he's going to be conservative at the beginning, letting the opposition to run a little bit, to sweat a little bit, to sort of get tired, and then try to resolve the game already closer to the end. Difficult to say. I think that Koeman is going to be courageous. Knowing how Vincenzo Montella plays, knowing that Vincenzo Montella does not tell his players to stay back, I think he can allow himself an attacking team. Now, again, is the attacking team going to last 90 minutes? That's a question. Here, if somebody scores an early goal, and when I say an early goal, I mean the first 25 minutes, well, here the picture is going to change. For some, I was reading an interview with Fatih Terim. As you know, he's an absolutely legendary coach in Turkey. Sort of, he's like an icon, you know. So he said that Hakan Çalhanoğlu is the best midfielder together with Rodri in this tournament. It says a lot. It really says a lot. So I think the Dutch are going to be very, very careful about Çalhanoğlu, and I think that they'll create a special condition for him. Not very pleasant. And the country, of course, adores Arda Güler. Arda Güler is 18. I was even asked a question by one of our viewers: can he become the next Messi? you know, it's. I don't think so, because I don't see in him that technique, that I don't see those unexpected moves, like that confidence. But he's 18, and anything can happen. I'm almost certain that if he continues to work as he works, and if he listens to Carlo Ancelotti, at least for the next year, I think that he is going to become one of the best European players. That I'm convinced of. Is he going to be the next Messi? Here I have doubts. Well, I have the right to have doubts. Okay, so let's see what will happen tonight. It's a very interesting night. Really interesting night, because it's both games are going to be thrillers, and well, we'll see each other before the semifinals, before the first one and before the second one, and have a good day and watch 2 nice football games, and then have a nice weekend. Thank you.